Good evening, everybody, and how you all keeping? I hope you're keeping well. It's actually brightened up here. We had a bit of a thunderstorm earlier on, but nothing too serious. So it has brightened up now. I thought the electricity was going to go off at one point, but happily it stayed on. I'll bring in my earworms so you can see who we've got. So we've got Scott, the Blue Light Turner, Dale from Maple Trees, and we've got the Viking King, Young Andy.
Skull.
With his eight and his armour on, and he's sitting in his Viking throne, and he's got his mug of mead.
I'm selling for Indian beer.
Right, I'll pop you back in the background, guys. You can start letting us know who's in once I've explained what I'm going to be doing. Which one do I want? That one. How's the picture? It's not getting bleached out or anything, is it?
Looks good, mate, so far.
Good.
Grand. Okay, so what I've got a piece of ash on. It's probably the usual size piece of ash that I do, which is probably about 12 inches diameter, 2 inches thick. Just get my tool rest set up, and then we can get some turning done. So I'm going to be doing colouring again tonight. I haven't done any proper colouring for a while, so I'm going to be... chisel.
You after the sack again, Wayne?
It definitely sounds like it, doesn't it?
Yeah. I haven't got the t-shirt on tonight though. I've got my Team Turner t-shirt on tonight.
Oh.
So we'll get it rounded off and get the bottom shape. It'll be like I usually do, a fairly simple shape. Once I've started shaping the bottom, I might be able to see if there's any ripple in this. It doesn't look like there is, but if there is any ripple in, I might even colour the bottom on this one. But that will be done with a stain rather than paint. I'm using the Joe Sonia paints again tonight and using a slightly different technique to what I usually do. So let's get started. Turning at just over 800 revs per minute. So guys, you want to start letting us know who's in?
Sure. We've got Good Hunt Daily by Blair, Steve Ash. We've got the Blue Light Turner. Hold on a minute. There's an imposter in our midst. We've got Chris Cox, Jeff Christie. We have Mike the Midnight Joker. We have Herb Hooper. We have Tommy Dunn. We have the ever lovely... Oh, here, I'm going to scroll a bit. They're all having a chat amongst themselves. Brian Anderson. We have got your dad in, Scott.
Dad.
Then we're kind of getting down into, we've got Rich, the Beard 16. Hi, Rich.
Adrian, the Hobby Turner.
Adrian, Hobby Turner. And then we're kind of getting down to about Sharon Chapman's in.
Ronnie.
Duncan Barber. Wivey Wood Turner. Jack. Nick the Flaming Turner. And I think that's us kind of caught up. Elaine's in. Danny's in. Steve Ash, and Nick Atkinson, and Joe Ray 60.
Sharon Chapman.
Oh, and Jennifer.
Matt Harper.
I think it's Matt Harper. Put your glasses on. Get your glasses, mate. Matt Harper. There's an Andy C out there too.
Really cool. Di Prout.
Yep.
Evening, Di.
That right. My apologies if I didn't die. Dory 60.
Loads. Yep.
Grand
Loads of people.
Bob Lapsley there as well.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Robert.
Pete Fuller.
Oh, Marky. Nick Burtman.
Evening, Mark.
Bobby from the home. Steve Ellis.
Evening, Steve.
Did you do any carving at work today, Andy? Or were you resisting?
No, I did take all my carvings to work, though, to photograph before they all go off to their respective homes. So I haven't had a chance to go to the post office as yet. But I will be tomorrow.
There's a little bit more just to come off in this area, but that'll get taken out once I start doing the shaping.
Is that light cracking we can see from here?
No, there's no cracking in this at all, Dale. Whereabouts these marks here?
Yeah, there's 3 lines on it, yeah.
No, that's probably bandsaw marks, that is.
Okay.
Cool. 48 in.
Grand.
Matt Harbour says, interesting. Wayne, have you tried a pull cut on these?
Yes, I have, Matt. I do use a pull cut every once in a while. But to tell you the truth, most of the time I've been turning, I've used a push cut to take off the bottom. I do like using a pull cut. It's just that I'm not used to using a push cut.
We have Fingers McLaren in the chat.
Evening,
Hi,
David.
And we have the man with the grit, Mr. Senior himself.
Good evening, Glenn.
Evening, Glenn.
Glenn, I would be getting the P45 ready if I were you, sir.
That makes me nervous when you say that.
Yeah?
Baz is in the chat.
Bazaban.
I've only just
Evening,
got
Baz.
telling me that I'm getting a P45.
Oh.
As in from school.
No, you're a keeper.
No.
They'd
They'd be crazy to get rid of you.
Well, I'd like to think so, because I'd hate to lose. But seriously, that's a wicked job there. I actually went to work happy today. Don't get
Cool. I wish I could do that. Oh, Mr. Senior says he can paper the walls with them. Matt Harbour says, I wondered how that thing was used. Thanks. I think you mean the speed sizer.
The speed size, yeah. I believe Matt's over in the States.
Hello.
Yes, Richard, share it out, guys. Let's try and see if we can get 100 in tonight watching Wayne.
Baza says, wish I got my P45. I was only meant to be helping out for 2 weeks, 13 years ago. The Flaming Turner is asking you, Andy. Andy, I'm assuming it's you, Andy. I apologise. Andy, you get any posts today?
No, my postman's absolutely. I swear he's keeping my mail. We haven't had any for like 2-3 days now. Hold on, what day is it? Wednesday. Yeah, we haven't had any at all this week.
Got to keep them sweet, Andy.
Oh, no, we didn't even have any on Jacob's birthday.
Oh, we're getting there. 58.
Just clean the mortars out now.
Chisky Wood Creations is in the chat.
Evening.
What's Nick sending me?
I've got no idea. He never said the other night.
He's sending you a Flaming Turner.
Ah! Oh, Max is in the post. He's put Max in the post. Right, okay.
Good shout.
I might open that mortise up a wee bit more in a minute. Well, I put my book out.
Is that open to comedic response, or is it just a general inquiry?
Oh, there it is. Yeah, I tell you, man.
Can you have a chat with? Can you have a chat with Chris? I mean, Chris has got that. Claire's Crafty Corner's out in the chat. Hi, Claire.
Good evening, Claire.
Oh. Who's the other voices? I don't know.
Oh,
I've got 4 of them in my head.
Young player offers this view of the world. She says, "Not so late tonight. Yay!"
Okay, so I'm Andy. I'm the
Eva's in the
carver.
chat. Hi, Eva.
Hi, Eva.
You must
She
know
offers
who
this
Dale
insight.
is.
Sorry, Andy. After you, mate.
No, you're right.
I was just going to say she offers this insight. Humpty Dumpty. We may get the rest of this later, I feel. Go on, mate.
Wayne with the big feature in the chat.
Hi, Wayne. Valerie.
The BDs. Wayne's made a request for a rip at the bear.
All right. Oh, that's from you, obviously.
Yeah, not for you. Well, you could if you could wood turn it, that'd be awesome.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
Nick says, Andy, let's just say it's in a do not bend envelope, and he'll show them the baseball bat if it's damaged.
So if it comes in the puck, shall I open the door with a baseball bat, Nick? Just in case. Or I'll do the axe. It's fine. I'll do the
Open the door with that.
That's right. You can short the axe kind of thing, but not Yorkshire grip.
Ah, see. Eva's busted me.
She's
It
what?
is
Oh, it's
me,
Scott. Also, hi, Scott. Stuart Ingrulli is in the chat.
Evening, Stuart.
Okay, so we got a question from Daniel Chapman. Please, can I wrap plastic bags around the wet wood spindle blanks to stop them from splitting?
Yeah, seal the ends first, though. And probably put some shavings in as well.
Oh, Mark!
We missed the gentleman wood turn himself.
Oh,
Mark,
no.
Mark, how the devil are you?
Mark came in earlier on, didn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think we
we
missed him in the
missed him.
run through.
We missed him. Well, remember, Mark, good luck for tomorrow, mate.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
Cool. Will do, Nick. Will do. Oh, yeah.
Ronnie, Ronnie's in the chat. Ronnie, and I must apologize. I'm going to pronounce this wrong. Did you? Ronnie, if I got that wrong, if you could phonetically lay it out, we'll get it right next time, mate. Harper suggests your problem with plastic bags is they seal in the moisture, which will likely result in spalting.
Cardboard
So there
box.
you go.
Cardboard box, if you don't mind.
Mark, the gentleman wood turner, says thanks. He's bricking it for tomorrow.
You'll be fine, mate.
What's he broken?
He's
Matt-
going out to get he's going to get his peg tube out tomorrow.
Oh, right. Oh, yes. Beg pardon.
That offers this insight for Daniel. The latex paint would look better to seal the ends.
Who's lost something then? What have we missed there?
Harbour says, yep, I had some bland willow get really interested by leaving in a plastic bag with water for a few weeks.
Ooh.
Biochemistry at work right there.
Right, just get my small gouge. I'm just going to give my small gouge a bit of a sharpen.
There's a third background voice. Who is it? Oh.
Bum, ba,
That,
bum,
that would be me.
Claire, I'm genuinely insulted if it's me that you are wondering who it is.
It's got to be me. She never work out as me. I mean, my voice is so bland and disinteresting and completely unrecognizable.
No
Can't
accent whatsoever.
Me, I've got no accent whatsoever. So all you other characters.
This is true.
Chris
This is
Cox
very-
Cox has got this. Don't tell them your name, Pike.
Right, here we go. Just a nice wee finishing cut.
Claire's Crafty Corner is offering this view, which is every tune you say, who you are, I can't hear it. Cool.
His name's Pike.
Pike. But
It's
she'll
George.
say hello to you.
It's George. You know me. I built the spacecraft.
It's the Lord of the Westwold. It's the urban king of the Vikings. It is the one, the only, the ever lovely Mr. Randy Heel.
What an intro! Make anyone would think I was wrestling or something. You know what I mean? Bring it on.
In the blue corner.
Colin's in.
Caitlin.
Caitlin's just joined from our workshop.
All right, shh, watch your language. Shh. Wayne, you can't afford any more. You can't afford any more JTOs.
Doesn't Wayne owe Caitlin a drink from the other night?
Wayne, no, he doesn't. She wasn't there. She doesn't get drinks if she's not there.
That's it. Glenn says he has a gin. Sorry, go on.
JSG Woodworking's just joined.
Glenn says he has a gin. What's the slurp word? What's the drinking word for tonight, Mr. Turner, Mr. Wayne?
Right,
can't hear us. Can't hear us.
I was thinking. No, yeah, I can. I was thinking about that earlier on. But I never come to a conclusion.
P45 or colouring.
Yeah.
Or Joe Sonia.
P45 or both.
You know. Oh heck! I forgot. I missed that one liner that someone came out with earlier on. Chatoyans, meaning Chatoyans. Let me tell you, says I think she was in the background listening, as in Caitlin. Yes.
We said hello to Ellen.
I think we did earlier on. Hello, Ellen. Just in case we didn't. Steve Jeremiah's in the chat. Hi, Steve. Oh heck, we've got too many Steves again. All we need is Mr. Twydale now.
The father of Beards in the chat, Wayne.
Oh heck, father of Beards, Colin. How the devil are you, sir?
Who's in, Colin? Right, let's have a look at this and see if it's plain, if it's got some. Right, there's a little bit of ripple there, but I don't think it's enough to justify colour in the bottom, so I'm not going to bother.
Actually, it looks really nice from here. It looks. Is there? I mean, it's not obvious in here. Maybe with a down camera to show the form, because the way the light's catching it, it doesn't really show it off.
That's not really showing it either.
But it's definitely better. You can definitely see more of the form now.
Okay.
What do we think, folks? Do we prefer that camera or the other one?
How's that one? Is that showing the form better? The side camera.
What do we think, guys?
Oh, yeah, that one.
Right, so what I'm going to be using tonight is some chestnut cellulose sand and sealer. This is the wipe on though, it's not the spray on. So it's being sanded to 240. Because I am going to be using Yorkshire grit, and you only need to go to 240. Then sand and sealer on. It's up to yourselves on whether you knock back the sand and sealer or not. I don't tend to, because I'm using an abrasive paste over the top of it.
Out in the chat, we have Daryl Hollis from North Carolina in the USA. Hi, Daryl.
Good afternoon, Daryl. How are you?
I used to work in North Carolina quite a lot for a few years.
Was that around the Inspector Clouseau area?
much more Rally Durham.
Right, okay.
Glenn puts a stack of P45s back in the drawer. He says.
Right, so I'm using, where am I? Get the glare off. There we are. Yorkshire grit, abrasive paste, rub it in while the lathe is stationary, or being turned by hand anyway.
Here's McClare. Oh, sorry. So Eva's saying we eat loads of herring and do lots of barbecue for the solstice, and get walnutted and make babies in the bushes outdoors. She offers for solstice. Dave McLaren says that sounds painful in the bushes.
I'll worry about Eva sometimes.
I wonder if she's banged her head in some of the wood. On that note, the Flaming Tunnel says, just so you know, Glenn, I use Yorkshire grit today in my live, so he thinks he's safe from getting his P45.
Right, so I've turned the speed down. I'm running at just over 200. I'm using the same piece of paper that I applied the Yorkshire grit with, just to start rubbing it in. So what's happening at the moment is that the abrasive within is starting to break down.
I'm going to read this out for you, mate. When Mike the Midnight Joker says he goes to Iceland on Midsummer, makes babies behind the fridges, the low-cost version. Sorry, Wayne. That just tickled.
Now I'll start speeding the lathe up. Get a fresh piece of paper.
Temple Boy Turnings has just popped in. Hi, Steve.
Good evening, Steve.
Not another Steve.
I've got too many Steves.
Mike, that was so funny.
That was priceless, mate. We're keeping that. But
you got me in tears, mate.
That's why Mum's go to Iceland.
Oh man, good one, Mike. Top quality, bud.
Speed it up again. Keep on working it in. And what you want to do, you keep on working it in until all the grit is being used and your piece of paper comes away clean. And that shows that the abrasive has done its work. I think one final pass should do it. Sorry, Neil.
Sorry, mate. No. I was just going to say, young Stacey's in the chat.
Mike, that was brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Seriously. I haven't.
And here we are, that's it.
Sorry, mate.
I said Andy's off to Iceland in the morning.
No, hell no, I don't want any more.
So I've got an observation based on that. But before we do that, when you're on you're gonna clean the surface completely now with dry paper?
Yes, I've got a clean piece of paper that I'm just going to take over, and then I'll put a finish on.
Lovely.
Cool.
Sorry, mate. I pulled myself together now. That was.
I'm sure Stace sent me a picture of loads of Jaffa cakes in Iceland. I wonder if they're baked.
Space onto you in Iceland.
So that's the Yorkshire grit done its job, and now I'm going to finish off. Or the finish I'm going to use tonight is again Chestnut Products microcrystalline wax. And for anybody that thinks I'm putting it on with my hand, I'm not, because Scott thought that the other day. I've actually just got a piece of kitchen roll that I keep in the tin with the wax all the time.
And you guys thought he was a wood-turning wizard where he extrudes wax like Spider-Man, does webs from his hands.
Eva wants to know why we all want to go to Iceland now.
Well, they do particularly low-cost Jaffa cakes and lawn sausage.
I think somebody needs to explain that it's a supermarket rather than an island.
Mike, I think Mike already has. He says it's a
All
shop
right,
in the
okay.
UK, Eva, by the way.
Oh, dear.
Eva is inquiring, how's your hand, Wayne?
Where am I? There. Can you see it? There
you
it is.
Yep.
It's fine. It's
That's
fine.
fine.
I might have to take Bowie down. I'm running out of room for stickers.
You don't hang us. Put the ones you're not so keen on behind them.
Yeah. So that's Maple Tree Studios that's going behind.
Yep.
Circular Wood by Keith. I don't
I
even
could go
know.
behind.
Yeah. Oh, there's some AH bespoke bloke that could go behind. That's
Yeah.
quite a big stick. That's quite a big sticker.
It is a big sticker, isn't it? It's a huge sticker.
Big for a reason, mate.
He's compensating for something.
Right, we'll just get the
Small
top
carvings.
straightened off.
Young Mark is inquiring if you only extrude wax from your hand, Wayne.
I'm not even going there.
Krisky thought you were using palm oil.
Boom, boom.
See, Nick's got it covered. It takes 4 stickers at least to cover mine. I'm not stupid. I know how it works on the sticker wall.
Yeah, but David Bowie's A3, so that won't be a problem.
Boom, boom.
Right, where's that blue light turner? It's going to be a blue light burner in a minute.
I'll put that back onto the front camera. I think that's getting bleached out a bit.
It's not bad, but it definitely, before you put the Yorkshire Grit on, it definitely appears whiter. But this one appears quite white. What is your turning, Wayne? Ash, Sycamore?
Yeah, ash.
Yeah.
Ash.
It's annoying. I've got all the main spotlights and everything switched off. All I've got on is the strip lights.
Let's have a chat about exposure using OBS tomorrow. I'll show you how you can correct it.
Martin at Woody Creations is saying, calling all Yorkshire turners that St Anton is open again.
Nathan's is open again and well stocked. All right. Snatons is very close to the Yorkshire Grit Mines. It's quite close to the Yorkshire Grit Mines over in Scarborough.
Yeah, I saw David Lowe was in his workshop the other day.
Yorkshire Grit Mines are the home to the Yorkshire Grit Oompa Loompas, which are kind of like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory Oompa Loompas, but with flat cats and Yorkshire accents.
And very big pockets because they go and knock the sand for the grit from the beach.
Well, that's a good shout. Yeah.
That's why
4 miles away, Glenn says the Snatons is from the Yorkshire Grit Mines.
I thought it was a bit farther than that.
Feels further when you make the drive.
See, Glenn told me the dwarfs made it.
He's kind of right. You know, I mean, he's kind of right.
Implements are quite small, aren't they?
They are quite,
Yeah,
small
the
people.
dwarfs quite specific. Do you know what I mean? I'm guessing because they're in from the steel industry, they might be more helpful now.
Don't know. They all wear flat cap.
I had an accident with a dwarf the other day.
Did you?
Yeah, he got out of the car. He says, "I'm not happy." I went, "Which one are you then?"
Oh, God.
Oh, boom.
Talking of accidents, did you see Boris Johnson have one earlier on?
Yeah,
Axman's.
he didn't have an accident.
No, I'm just wondering how many donuts that police officer is going to have to buy that was driving that car.
Ooh.
No, I'm
A few?
just wondering. I'm just wondering if the guy who jumped out in front of the car is going to get charged.
Yeah.
Or is it even a
Terrorism
donut?
offences.
You know, that might even be an ice cream offence.
Oh.
No, it's an attack on the Prime Minister, so it'd be cast as a terrorist.
It's significantly bad. So
Yeah.
let's hope he gets picked up and incarcerated
Yeah.
for a period of time.
Yeah, life.
Electrocution. No, don't mean that.
Right, as I'm going to paint this, I'm going to get
That's a
all
big
the.
paintbrush.
I'm going to give it a clean off with methylated spirits. For those of you in the States, that would be called denatured alcohol.
Hello, Sharon
Just get any-
Lindley.
Bob Crawford's in the chat. Hi, Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Hello.
Glenn's suggesting that. Oh look, Chatoyans slurp.
I think Glenn's going to be about to start printing off some more P45s.
You reckon?
Yeah. Right,
Push
so I'm
yourself.
going to tell you a little sand and sealer on this again. Just a very light coat. The reason I use this when I'm doing painting is that it tends to act like a primer or an undercoat. Something for the ebonizing lacquer, which is what I'm going to use. Something for the ebonizing lacquer to stick to, rather than soaking straight into the wood. So that's just going to dry for a couple of minutes. I'll just wipe the excess off that though. And then it can dry for a couple of minutes.
Matt Harper says, is the barrier to keep the paint or other material from soaking into the wood?
Yes,
Yep,
Matt,
just what you
is.
said.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah,
like
Caitlin's
when
asking.
if you're using paint in the house, you know, if you're painting any furniture, anything like this, you tend to put a primer on beforehand. And that's why I use the sand and sealer. It acts a bit like a primer, if you like. Sorry,
Caitlin's
Caitlin.
asking. Caitlin's asking, is it just me or is the camera a little fuzzy? Must be you, Caitlin. Lay off the booze. It's occasionally flicking in and out, to be honest, though, as the bandwidth picks up. And yeah, it's all good, sir. It's only dipping down and then coming back. It's all good.
Oh, well, it might be the weather.
Yeah, Claire, in your case, definitely lay off the booze.
Right, I'm knocking it back with one of the Scott Bright pads. This is the orange one, which is the equivalent grit of around about 1200. So it's a very fine one, and it's just for knocking back the sand and sealer.
Fingers McLaren saying it's fuzzy for him too. In your case, Fingers, lay off that fake whiskey. It looks okay from here on YouTube. It looks pretty good here, Wayne. So I think it's still safe to go. But it's definitely dipped in and out a couple of times as you were turning.
Okay, let's see what it's like with the ebonizing lacquer on.
Like I say, it looks really high quality right now.
Right. Okay. I've just seen your comment there, Mike. Let's just see if I can.
I don't think it's dust, sir. I don't think it's dust.
Maybe not. I'll clean them anyway.
Sharon Lindley is asking, are you shaking your balls there?
Yep. I'm shaking me can.
Fingers is saying, Dale, you need a bottle of the good stuff.
I've got a bottle of the good stuff. I've got several bottles of the good stuff, and none of them have Maiden Island written on them. Actually, I might be lying to you. I think I've got some Guinness, to be fair.
Nick is saying that the boss man's having a Magnum
Hi,
withdrawal.
Leona.
Hi, Leona.
Leona's in the chat. Hi, Leona.
Leona's in the chat.
Pedalbox Company, aka Keith. How's it all going? Glenn
Right,
is saying
I'm
it's like watching Euphemisms Are Us.
I'm going to
That's
turn the
sounding
speed
good.
all the way down now. Right, I'm turning at around about 150 at the moment.
Wayne, Sharon's asking why you don't protect your equipment when you're spraying.
Right. When I'm spraying, I've got the bed bars protected. And the majority of overspray when it's going over the top is going over the top of the lathe. It tends to just be one area here on the lathe that gets covered in paint, and it is just paint.
73 watching, Win.
Grand.
I got 76 on my screen.
Oh, you just had to one up me, didn't you?
Oh, no.
I got 74 on mine. And Glenn's saying that you're not covering it up because you're lazy.
He knows me so well.
He's Martin is suggesting, Glenn, it's more like Carry On Turning. All right, who's going to be Kenneth Williams? Oh, it's going to be me then. I mean, it has to be me then. All right, okay.
If you're doing anything like this, and you want to check if the lacquer or the paint or whatever it is that you're using is dry, do it towards the center of the bowl, because that's going to get turned out. It doesn't matter if you leave any finger marks there. That's dry. Let's get some fresh sweet pots. And I'm using the Joe Sonia's iridescent paints. I'm going to use the violet. It's not very often I use the blue, but I'm going to use the blue tonight.
Why don't you use the blue often?
I'm not that keen on it, to tell you the truth, but sometimes using it with other colours, it can look not too bad. The green I'm using. Now, what people should do when they're doing this is actually mark the pots with the different colours on. I'll put this on the overhead camera because I will be bringing the piece down.
There's a question that wasn't prefix from Abby. Hi, Abby. Have you got any recommendations on paint brands to use?
Paint brands, right? If I'm using spray paints, Dale will be better off telling you that. I just tend to buy stuff from Halfords, or there is a website called Sprayster where you can buy fairly cheap spray paints. I use Chestnut Products Ebonizing Lacquer a lot. If I'm using iridescent paints, it'll either be Joe Sonia's iridescent paints, which is the one I'm using tonight, or it'll be Chestnut Products iridescent paints. They do a good range. Other than that, it tends just to be acrylic paint. Over here in the UK, I'll probably get them from Hobbycraft or somewhere.
Leona in the chat saying, "Hey David, you saved me £50 on the air mask by sending me to the woodshed, so I bought a threading tools. God forbid I actually keep 50 euros. Irma Little Eldon is in. Hi, good. Hi, Irma.
I've just popped the link in the chat for Joe Sonia's UK shop. If you guys want to go over there and buy any, if you go into the contact section on there and just mention that you've...
yeah, it is the contact section, isn't it?
Yeah. Just mention that you've... blame Wayne. You've seen him on Wayne the Woodturner, and then they support Wayne as well. So.
Fingers McLaren following up to Leona. She's saying, that's good to hear, Leona. No problem. Steve Twaddell says, laughs out loud, Lorna. I have some thread chasers I never use. Matt Harper says, airbrush cleaner, Cretex, airbrush paints.
I was practicing with my thread chasers this afternoon.
Nick says, Wayne, that sprayer site no longer than the 99p sale thing.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Spracer used to offer a deal where you could get 200ml cans and some 400s for about £1. That deal's now gone. So what was I going to say? I've lost my thread now in the chat. Martin Dickerson, blue light. Will they take blue Josana off your hands now? Leona says, we'll be using them from now on. They're much cheaper than Axemen, and shipping is cheaper too. Sharon says, can I see the paint on the base now? Lol, it's a rainbow. Abby says, thanks, Wayne, and all good to know, lots to choose from. Luna says, bit late telling me now, Steve. Someone may be in trouble. Glenn says, so does Yorkshire Grout. I think they have a website too. I feel that's it's a hint, Scott. Perhaps a pasting of a website might be in order for Mr. Grunt.
What is it?
Makers in the chat.
Chuck in the Yorkshire Grout website. Manny Maker, how do? Steve is quite loud and says, you never asked me, Leona. Dave McLaren says, that's the airbrush paints I have just started using, Matt, along with the harder Steinbeck airbrushes. Along with harder and Steinbeck, my apologies. I can't keep pace with Leona and Steve, so I'm going to shut up for a bit on them. Wayne says, Sharon, give it a few weeks and you'll be buying a lathe.
Yeah.
Right, so here we go. Let's get some paint on this. Now,
how's your Jaffa cakes now?
Right, the thing with the paint
I'll give you the answer.
This bloody camera's stupid. The thing with the paint is, whenever they come out of the pot, it's got all the different colours written on the wee containers. But when they come out, they're all cream. That's why you've either got to mark the pot that you're putting the paint into, or stand the colour right behind it. And I usually forget to do both things. So we are just randomly putting this around. This is obviously the violet that you can see, and you can still see that it's got creamy bits in there. And then we'll go on to, I think this will be the blue. Yeah, it is.
Kiski asks, can you spray Joe Sonia paint with an airbrush?
Yeah, but it's got to be thinned down using flow medium. It's got to be thinned down using flow medium if you want to use it through an air gun. And obviously the colour, well, no, using flow medium, it should be okay. What flow medium does is that it thins the paint down, but you don't lose any of the characteristics of the paint. If you see what I mean, it doesn't sort of lighten the colours in any way.
It does reduce the density a little, which affects how it covers, but other than that, it's the same stuff.
Let's just Wipe that off there. And the final colour I'm going to put on is, they say it's red, but it does actually come out more of a pinky colour. And I know it looks a mess at the moment, and it'll probably still look a mess at the end.
Leona's fielding a broad question. Does anyone know if I can mix chestnut iridescent paints with resin? If not, I think I may have messed up my workshop sign. My experience of mixing paints with resin is the paints tend to bubble as the resin heats up. So I think the answer would be maybe. But you can get a really, really interesting fracturing effect, Leona. It looks like it's like, like ice that's got fracture lines through it. So wait and see what it comes out. It might be cool.
I know some people have used liquid paints when they're colouring resin. Right, what I'm using now, okay, I don't know if you can see this. This is a silicon pan scrubber, which Jane bought the other day. And as soon as she brought it in the house, I said, I'm having that.
Mine! And then you ran off.
So we're going to have a bit of a play. Just to change
that's cool. Look at that.
And there we are. That's all I'm doing. That's it. That's all I'm doing on the paint effect. So you can see what sort of effect has happened there. I will stick this back on the lathe.
Steve Ash has got it right. He ran away cackling madly, and Bryn followed him, woofing at him. Woof, 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 woof.
I'll tell you what, you really, you've got to try and be here when Glenn's here and see that pair bloody acting on. Oh, it's just something else. It really is.
Joe Senior's in the chat. Hi, Joe.
Good evening, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hope everything went well today.
Abby says it looks like roses.
Oh, I'll change the camera angle again. Now, one of the reasons that I like the Joe Sonia's iridescent paint is that it's classed as an interference paint. So you get a hell of a lot more shadowing rather than the ordinary solid colour iridescent paint. And if anybody, if people, like, you don't have to buy Joe Sonia's, you don't have to buy the chestnut. If you want to have a play with iridescent paints, buy some ordinary acrylics and buy, what's it called? It's an iridescent medium that you can actually just add in to ordinary acrylic paints.
Oh, I've got some of that. Let me have a look. I think
it doesn't make it an interference paint like Joe Sonia's, but it does make it
give it a burlesque effect. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can find it in the shelf while we're talking.
You know, I'm very happy with the way that's turned out.
Go figure. Put it away while I'm working on stuff. While I'm building this bench, can't find it.
A few minutes. This might take a wee while.
Okie doke. Right, you had that, folks, out in the chat. Talk amongst yourselves.
So you've done all 80 Jaffa cakes and Dale?
No, mate, I was full of shit. You know, I mean, you obviously did 60 last night. I had 20.
Nice, isn't it?
He sat there at the table in the garden, just picking them up, putting them in his mouth like it was because mine. I give you one, I have 10. He said.
Glenn's saying it's like watching bloody paint dry.
Boom, boom. He's here all week. Tell your friends. And the beard says he's just turned another female figure with the screw while listening. Are you in front of a mirror, Richard? I've now got a vision of a frock.
The white bits you can see on here is where the paint is still wet. And it's obviously where the paint is quite thick as well. That's why it isn't drying as quick. So what I'll do, just using the silicone thing as well, I'll just go over them a wee bit. I don't really want to go into the centre of that one. But these ones around the outside, I can just add a bit more effect too.
So I've got a bottle of Liquitex Professional Iridescent.
Yeah.
That's the stuff, I think, or certainly one of them.
Yeah.
Steve says, looking good, Wayne. Sorry, I'm going to have to drop out again. I want to get this editing finished.
No problem, Kate.
See you later, Steve.
Bye.
That's Steve, I think.
Bye.
Yeah, Steve T.
Steve, all right. Sorry, Steve. Sorry.
Keep an editing.
Well, that's why I asked.
He only just knows how to turn the computer on.
You know, you can go, Steve, how much? Steve, which Steve? It's that Steve over there behind that Steve. That Steve there. That Steve there. You know, I mean, Steve, that's Steve to speak up. Oh.
The majority
Joe says, how much is it down? How big?
Well, Joe, to you. Oh.
Real inches, Dale, real inches.
It's 237 millilitres, and it was only about 12 quid, mate.
You can get it from Hobbycraft.
Yeah, it's not hard to come by. I got mine from that Omni shop of Amazon kind of thing. Don't you wish Amazon was called Acme?
Gareth Dalton Wood Turnings in the chat as well.
Evening, Gareth.
Hi, Gareth.
Right, let's get the speed turned up and get the dish done. This is going to be a fairly...
Did we get Doug?
I'm only going to make this quite a small bowl area in here so I can keep the majority of the circles.
That's really cool, isn't it?
Chris Cox is inquiring, what's a dipsy doodle? Jeff Hornburg just used it in my Zoom meeting.
Is that like a nubbity nub?
Don't know. Nubbity nub, I think, is copyright though. Oh shit!
Oh.
Someone needs to persuade Steve to release that in Creative Commons license.
What was that, Mr.? Jeff Hornung was using what?
Jeff Hornman was using. So, what's a dipsy doodle? Jeff Hornburg just used it in his Zoom meeting.
All right.
Glenn offers the view that Hornburg is just weird. A dipsy doodle is defined as a quick dipping motion. I'm not sure, Caitlin. I suspect probably. Okay, Caitlin reckons I might owe her a drink. Don't know, mate. Might.
Oh no, definitely, Dale. 100%.
How come?
Sorry. I know you're my mate and all, but you did shoot yourself in the foot for that.
Yeah, you did say a word. I'm sure you did. And even if you didn't, you're getting blamed for it.
Yeah. I'm not taking the blame for that one.
I claim amnesia. You're here for Mr.
I wasn't there.
But if it did, definitely.
Oh, I left all my chocolate inside.
Well, Caitlin's not in most of our lives. Good lord. Maybe out of pocket.
I've left
Kai's in the chat. Hi, Kai. Sharon Lindley is asking, so what's this part, Wayne?
Eh?
She's asking, so what's this part, Wayne?
This part.
I believe she's as to what you're doing in terms of the turning a bowl.
Right, this is just the decorative dish in the middle, Sharon.
Mark says, it's okay, Caitlin, just listen back about 53 minutes in. Mark, you and I could fall out. Caitlin, just don't accept a drink off of Mark. It'll be whiskey.
I think I had the heat gun on this just a wee bit too much, so I'm just going to run this fine Scotch-Brite over it.
Just to denib the odd little bubble.
Yeah, you've got a couple of bubbles there. That's taking them. A couple in the centre there.
Irma is asking an interesting question. She says she's watched a number of tunnels, and they sound like they're killing a cat. Then some turn it, and it doesn't make a sound.
Okay. So, how's this one sounding, then, Irma?
Yeah.
Now it'll sound like it's killing the cat, so I'm going to start standing.
Always sounds like you're killing it. It always sounds like the dogs are up to no good. Players Crafty Corner is offering that she'll be the cat woman. That conjures up a range of images, but I do think it's the Simpsons version that I find most humorous.
How's the shed coming on anyway, Claire? How's the shed coming along?
Sharon says she's got to go now. Couldn't stay any longer. Bye, Sharon.
Right, Sharon.
Leona's asking Claire, have you started turning yet?
That's why I was asking about the shed.
Everyone should have a paintbrush.
Right, so I'm going to go with nothing, because I can't find it again. Oh, I put it away properly.
Good Lord.
Good Lord. Cellulose standing sailor.
In the cave?
Yeah. Being careful not to go into the paint.
Ooh, cat with a brush. Where'd you get that?
I got these. I've got 4 of them years and years and years ago. This is the only one I've got left. And I've been looking for some on the internet. In fact, Nick had a look for us as well a wee while back. And the bloody things are about 12 quid a bottle now.
Good Lord.
But they're excellent. They're absolutely excellent.
I have to have a bit of a dig around to see what can be unearthed. I may ask my wife to ask her brothers to have a dig around.
Yeah.
It's turned up some trumps before.
Copy decks. It's like a white glue.
Yes, sir.
Used to have
Yes,
it.
sir. Yeah, I remember copy decks. When I was at school. Yes. Comes out all rubbery and you can peel it off your hands with less enthusiasm than you have to show for super glue.
Mm. It's like a PVA.
Claire says, so hopefully by July she'll have her liquids and meths all drunk by then, and the finishes, and then she'll be ready to blow stuff up. Sorry, I added the word drunk by then. I'm sorry, Claire, I didn't mean that. She'll have knocked back some meths before then.
That could be an interesting life.
Caitlin has a question for your good self, Andy. Caitlin asks, Andy, have your 10-year-olds gone back to school yet?
No, they go back on Monday, Caitlin.
Dun, 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 dun. The story is true.
The year 10s are going back a quarter of a year a day. So about 50 kids a day. That's it. And they're spread over 5 classrooms, I think it is.
It's a bit harsh. I mean, do they really have to shred them and spread them over 5 classrooms?
No, it's for the social distancing. Look, they've got to be 2 meters apart, so everyone's desks 2 meters apart, right?
Right, that's had 1 coat of microcrystalline wax on. It'll probably end up getting some more coats on. I'm actually quite liking this. That's me about done. Is that just an hour again?
An hour again, mate.
That's me about done the turning, so I'll bring the main camera back up again.
Good Lord, that means you can show us. Quick, everyone hide.
Oh, I need to move it. What's that?
There we are. I'll leave the guys off at the moment just while I show the bowl.
That's a good
and the technique. Oh, I don't like that at all. No, I'm going to put it back on the lathe and redo it. No. Liar. There you go, guys.
That's nice, man.
See if I can get it in a different light. Just another technique you can use when doing paint techniques on turned work. I'll have a wee sit down.
Matt Harbour sums up pretty much how I feel. Sweet.
Thank you. Thank you.
Claire's offering so pretty, like feathers. Very nice, says Mike.
I've got all the keys to my life on my car keys. Yeah.
Jeff looks good, Wayne. Brian looks good, Wayne.
Eva's saying, have you been organising your shop? No, I just happened to put it away instead of just leaving it out lying about.
It's quite a surprise, really, for everyone.
Right, I'll bring the guys in and we can finish off the chat with the guys in. And there we have King of the Vikings sitting in his throne, drinking his mead with his aches. Pretty cool.
Feel like I should burp and fart and throw bones about and stuff.
Right, go for it.
Right, let's see what I'm getting in the chat. I'll move a bit closer.
Leona says, just casual Viking Wednesday.
Oh, thanks very much, Martin. Much appreciated. Caitlin saying it looks like coloured feathers have been dropped on it. So lovely. Thanks, Caitlin.
Eva's offering an insight on your armour. The Beard 16 says, looks great, Wayne. Steve Ellis, 9-1, Andy. Good one, Wayne.
I saw that comment, Matt.
Where do I get my ideas from? No, to tell you the truth, Jack, I'm starting to make my own ideas up now with different things to use for the painting and stuff. But a lot of the ideas I get for using the Joe Sonia paints and iridescent paints in general come from Gary Lowe, Mick, I always forget his flaming name, Mick Hanbury, because he does a lot with Joe Sonia's as well. Mark Sutton, who is a guy from up Aberdeen way, I believe, who's another very good turner. So I get a lot of ideas from these people and then try to adapt to my way of doing things. I watch a lot of art channels on YouTube and get ideas from there. That's where I got the string pull idea from. That's where, the water drop bowl I got from another turner. But this, I mean, Jane walked in the house with this the other day silicon pan cleaner, and I said, "Oh, I'm having that. I've got an idea for that," and I'm actually quite pleased it worked out.
Turned out pretty cool. The minute you held it up, I went, "Oh, there's interesting."
It's a whole lot of things you could do with that.
Yes, some of them legal.
Yeah.
Well, indeed.
I mean, what I did with this tonight, obviously, I did the circular motion with the pan scrubber, but you could just place it on.
How'd it go in?
I was actually thinking about drilling a hole and then putting a nut and bolt through there and putting it into the drill. In fact, I might still do that, to tell you the truth, on another one. But you could just place it on and just press it down. You know, you're going to get, with that one particular piece, you're going to get loads and loads of different effects. Loads of them.
Woody Woodcrafts, I think, sums up possibly the views of Great Many, but good job saying you have to put out with 3 blokes.
Doug asked the question there, what did you use to twist the paint? That's what I used, Doug. It's a silicon pan cleaner. That's what I used.
Colin Bennett, Father of Beard, says, thanks for the great live. Loved you turning. Love the colours. Catch you later. Bye for now.
Cheers, Colin. Night.
Caitlin says, when you could do one using a pull chain to pull through rather than string pull.
They're sometimes too big. If I'm doing a chain pull, I tend to pinch some of because Jane makes a lot of jewellery. So she's got loads and loads of chains. So I tend just to pinch some of her chain and then wash it and give it back to her. Oh, Richard's seeing 76 in tonight. Brilliant.
Yeah. See you later, Leona.
Bye, Leona.
Oh, Leona off. Night, Leona. Right, I think we'll call it a Wednesday.
I think someone pick up there. Steve, I think Steve Twydale, Temple Boy Tellings might have a premiere tonight, so watch out for that, folks.
Oh, has he?
I'm just
Leona's just sort of commented,
suggesting there from Leona's comment. I know he was editing. Okay, doke.
All right. Oh well, just as well I got finished early then.
Yes, indeed.
Right, guys. Thanks very much for coming in. I'm pleased you enjoyed it. I'll see if I can come up with something different for next week. I was hoping to be doing some thread chasing, but I'm going to need lots of practice before I can go live doing that. Lots of practice. So that'll be for a couple of months' time, I think. It's Twisted Tree's been in tonight. Pete?
Haven't seen the name going past.
Didn't see the name. No.
No, because I got a piece of boxwood delivered today from Pete.
Ooh, jolly good. Well done, Pete. I think he's here though.
Which is the piece that's going to be used for the thread chasing when I get the practice in. Right, guys, I'm going to press the button. Nice to see you all again. I will be back on Friday lunchtime, just doing a simple project that will only last about an hour. Well, mind you, all mine last about an hour. Okay,
Push
guys.
the bloody button.
Push the bloody button.